Hey folks, today we're going to unbox the Finnex Stingray and add it to the 55-gallon tank, and we're going to take the plants from the 30-gallon and add those to the pond. So we're going to break down the 30-gallon, unbox the new light. It's a full show. It's coming right up. Hey YouTube, this is Pecktec, and I'm excited to open this light. The other Finnex light that I got it for the 20-gallon tank that had the corner filter. My 56-gallon light actually went out, so I decided to put it on there, just kind of try it out. Now granted, the light that was on there before was a compact fluorescent that was probably 2 years out of date. Compact fluorescents lose like almost half of their power every year, so after a couple of years, it's pretty dim. Now, all the plants in there were low light plants, and they were still, I mean, they weren't dying out or anything. They were doing okay, but they weren't thriving. So I took the Planet Plus light and I put it on there, and man, what a huge difference. It's so bright in there right now. And the plants actually kind of look like they're coming back and starting to enjoy the extra light. That in mind, I wonder like if it would be too strong on the 20-gallon. Probably not if I really plant it really heavily. But I might have to order another one. But I also wondered, like, this is another one of their lights. This is the Stingray versus the Planet Plus. And I was kind of curious about that. Plus, I wanted to add more light here. You may or may not remember, the light that's on there right now is the DIY light bar that I built. And it's very powerful, but you can kind of see these little cones. If you notice the little cones of light. So it's real directional. I guess I should have maybe put a wider angle lens on these things. And I had added these floodlights to kind of fill in, but one of them died after about a year, and they also were not spreading the light quite enough. I wanted it to be a little bit more even across the board. This is very romantic and neat to look at, but it's not so great for plants. I wanted just a little bit more light. In fact, I had a comment recently where someone asked me if adding 2 lights are really going to help. I mean, you're always going to be challenged by the depth of your aquarium. I do think LED lights, most LED lights anyway, penetrate a little bit better than compact fluorescent lights and that sort of thing. They just seem a little bit more diffused. That's also what causes that ripple effect. If you've got a lot of moving water and real directional light, you get that ripply effect in the water. So anyway, yes, you can double up your light. You still have the same diminishing returns as you get lower, but every little bit helps. In some cases, it's more practical and sometimes cheaper maybe to buy one light that works really well versus like just adding lights to it. But having 2 lights can offer you some versatility. You can even have it come on at different times of the day, almost making sort of a sunset effect. So anyway, let's open this thing up. Here's the packaging. As you can see, it's got multicolored LEDs. In fact, let's take a look at the features. Do you guys like the Slingshot channel? Let me show you its features. Ha ha ha. I love that guy. Okay, ultra slim aluminum case hood for quick heat dissipation. Full spectrum LED blend. Daylight red and blue LEDs. Adjustable legs and mounting kit included. Moisture resistant splash guard and for the power switch and power switch. That's a lot of different mounting options, so whether you're putting this on a rim tank or a rimless tank, it's got options for that. So that's cool. But let's see what it looks like. See what ultra thin is. What do they think? Oh, whoa! that is thin. Okay, there's stuff going everywhere. "56 white lights, 8 red lights, and 8 blue lights." There's a little preview. As you can see, it's wafer thin. Any Monty Python fans out there? It's a wafer thin light. That is a really small form factor. It doesn't look like much as far as the lights go. We'll see. We'll see how bright it really is. It's got 2 of these. It's got some little sleds right there that it connects to. It's got the classic screw-in thing. Looks like this is there. It's got another little plastic piece that I think you can remove depending on the fit of your tank. It also comes with 2 of these, which I believe the sled's on this way. and then you can mount it to a fixture. So if you're going to put this up in a hood, maybe a custom hood that you've made, you slide on the end and you can just screw it into your hood. But you can see this does have like a sheet of plastic over the LEDs, which is important. Kind of helps extend the life. They don't short out quite so bad. And at the end, it's got a power switch, and this is covered because this is a point where moisture could potentially come in. Oh my gosh! It's Christmas. I'm using the camera's viewfinder to put this on, so it's not that hard. Alright, so that slides on there. And of course the other side does the same. Alright, and that's just the DIY light bar by itself. Of course you can see the streams of light. Again, very powerful lights, but very directional. It's good for penetrating, so it's getting way down in here and penetrating the tank. But the coverage is spotty throughout. So, alright, so I've attached this to the side. This should really probably be on the back of your tank, like back on this portion. But I already have this light going and don't have anything to mount it to, so I'm just going to leave this here. I'll set this up for now. More than likely I'll switch these, but for the video, I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay, so here it is with just the light bar, and here it is with the Stingray. Fills in the light just a little bit. Not nearly as powerful as the light bar, but... Alright, so just to compare them individually, that's the light on its own. Seems pretty dim. See, the camera kind of overcorrects it. In real life, it's about like that. That's too dim for a planted tank on its own, in my opinion. It's probably going to be a good filler light, but man, that's not very bright at all. As you can see when we add the other light, it's quite a bit brighter. Now I'm adjusting this exposure in the back of the camera, but I'm just trying to show you what I see. Okay, so far I'm not super impressed with the Stingray. I think it would be a great light for fish-only tanks, so maybe if you're doing African cichlids or something where you're just kind of putting caves and things like that for them to run around in. It might not be a bad light, and certainly is inexpensive for the length that it is, but it's also not particularly bright. I don't see a lot of penetration. It's going to do okay to fill in and kind of help out on here. Definitely going to move it to the back and put the other light more forward. That's it for the Finnex. So I bought these baskets. Now these baskets are made for pond plants, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer some plants from the 30-gallon aquarium into these, and then I'm going to put them in the pond. Now the 30-gallon tank I've had for, I think it's been close to 15 years. It's been a really long time. It was one of the first aquariums that I got. It was, I remember I got some money for Christmas and I immediately went to PetSmart and bought this tank on sale. The Eclipse filter system that's on top, that worked great for several years. In fact, it just broke, but it just broke maybe, I don't know, probably 5 months ago. And what I've done since then is just throw some sponge filters in there, and it's kind of kept things going. The only fish I have in there is a yo-yo loach, more than 10 years old. He's a really old yo-yo loach, full grown, and I've got to rehome him. The other thing that's in there is just lots and lots of cherry red shrimp and a couple of Amano shrimp. I could really use their help in here, so I'm going to add them probably to this tank. And the cherry shrimp will go in a bunch of different tanks. I might throw some cherry shrimp in the pond too, just because it's kind of neat. They breed in there like crazy. It's hard to catch them out at the end of the season, like they're really hard to see. But usually I get at least most of them. Some of the planting techniques and stuff I actually learned from Rachel O'Leary in her Summer Tubbin series. And I'll be using maybe a little bit of that and a little bit of just make it up as I go along as far as adding these plants. And I don't know if these plants will do well or not. If they don't do well, I might be able to use these planters for the bog filter stuff that I just got. So this is just sort of an experimental thing to see if the plants that I'm pulling out of this 30-gallon lasts a little bit longer. A lot of the anubis and stuff is kind of covered in algae and it's not doing too great, so I don't want to stick it in another tank, and I don't really feel like trying to recover them from this algae outbreak that's gone on in there. The other thing is that there's tons of duckweed in there, like so much duckweed, that I'm really worried about cross-contamination bringing any of those plants into any of these other tanks. I just don't want duckweed in there if I can help it. And I'm sick of always having to clean my stuff off if I go to the 30 gallon and then go to the next tank. I always have to clean whatever my hands or my tools or whatever I've got going, just because I don't want to carry that duckweed over. Now if it goes into the pond, that's okay. Usually in bright sunlight, duckweed just doesn't do well. Now I'm not sure why, but duckweed really seems to like that low, compact fluorescent light. It doesn't even seem to really thrive under LED, but if you put it under any compact fluorescent, it just goes nuts. So all nostalgia aside, it's time to take down the 30 gallon and be one less aquarium to move when I take everything out to redo the floors. I've got a project that I'm hoping to do in the next couple of weeks where we're going to pull out all the aquariums. We're going to redo the floors and maybe add a bigger aquarium. The big aquarium I might save till Christmas when they all go on sale, but it'll be coming pretty soon. So this aquarium's been up for a long time, and of course the first thing that I have to do, or we have to do, is pull out all the fish. Well, there's one fish, but there's tiny, tiny little shrimp, and there's probably hundreds of them, okay? And after that, I've got to pull the plants, sort out the algae ones from the non-algae ones, and I've got really a lot of work to do, not to mention fighting this duckweed the whole time. Luckily, I've got an assistant here that's going to help me take care of this terrible, terrible project. So I feel so lucky to have her here to help me. Okay, so it looks like I'm on my own, but there really is a lot to do, and the way it goes is pull out the fish, pull out the plants you want to keep, then you've got to drain it, and then you've got to dump all this stuff somewhere. I've got a special place out back. I call it my substrate graveyard. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself because before I pull plants out, I actually need to first set up the containers that they're going to go into. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of everything. I've got a big mix of things in my garage, like substrates, like half bags of substrates and quarter bags of substrates that from projects that have gone by.
Fuck them.
everybody. It's been great seeing you again. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. I'll be back next week with another video. I've got a couple of other things planned. I'm not too sure. I had fun doing the live stream this week, and I'm going to try to do more regular live streams. Situation happened where I couldn't do it on Wednesday. I'm going to always shoot for a Wednesday on the live streams. The live stream stuff for me too is always going to be sort of an extra video. I'll probably never replace my Sunday video with a live stream, although when I do those renovations it might be necessary to do that once or twice. But for those of you that have worried that I'm going to switch to all live stream and not do these carefully edited videos, don't worry. This is what I prefer to do. But until next time, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. But I decided to, the hood that it comes with stopped working. The filter that came, do you want to help? So I took this, the
Snoop Dogg here.
Say stink dog?
Snoop Dogg.
Stink dog. Poop dog.
You're stink dog.
Poop dog.